was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. First carry now for Pierre Strong. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 79 Bronco, Panther 11, Panther 11. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Buffalo 18.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Okay, break.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Cobb. And he is going to pick up a Patriots first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So a big play there on 4th, and now 1st and 10 at the 30.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Let's go now.
On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, it's only the first quarter, but that's a quick shift in momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Pats at the line, ready to go. The last time, everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick six. And now they've got to come right back out here, Charles, and try to pick up the pieces and get things going again.
Yeah, it certainly seems dire, doesn't it? But there is a silver lining, and it is hard to see so soon after that touchdown. But the game plan was definitely working. They were generating offense, had the ball beyond midfield, getting wins on each down against the defense. So they're moving it well. They just have to hang on to it.
Yeah, as you said, though, probably tough to remember those good things on that last drive when it ended like it did. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 95 catches for him now on the year, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now
teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. 2nd and 5. And a loose football. And the defense not able to get it from a defensive perspective. Moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They go play action here on 1st down. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feed.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 35. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Cox. And he's going to get him another 1st down here as he's able to dive forward to get as much as he can. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he was unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Pats at the line, ready to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
2nd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control and see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball away following that fumble return. Now this thing gets marked where it went out of bounds, so they're going to have really good starting field position near midfield. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Straight ahead at Stevenson. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Go!
They run once more with Stevenson. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Hauled in on the out route by Melton. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Now back to throw. He's got Smith here. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. And the tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd and 6. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Continued struggles here in the 2nd quarter, and to me, you can pin a lot of them on an inability to convert 3rd downs. Add that most recent incompletion to the list of examples.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Let's go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And this one is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones. And he'll take it just outside the 40. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Let's go now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Gets this one to Hill. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Two-cat third here, and it's good for a first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Ready. 72.
They'll look to throw here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Trent Sherfield from 19 yards away. And the Patriots take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. They'll try and throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
When it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it, and the Pats are going to take possession of the football.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A throw over the middle taken in.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat, 79 Bronco. Panther 11, Panther 11.
Back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Jalen Phillips in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Patriots are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be what Peyton Manning threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
2nd and 13.
And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll set up to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Bradley Chubb drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today,
and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot, because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. New England on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
18 Cardinal.
Back to throw here. Going up top. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield, because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Set. Back at 60.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This pass complete to Melton. And he is going to pick up a Patriots first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Stevenson.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Patriots are able to cut into that deficit. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
19 tight, 19 tight. 70 range, 70 range. Take go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, incomplete to Waddle.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Lion, unlock Lion, unlock Lion.
they'll throw here out of the gun.
Another catch there for Waddle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On 2nd down now, it's Cox. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive, 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Ready up!
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 20.
Getting in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
Let's go!
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Go!
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Warriors 17! Take over!
He'll look to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins! An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead, and that's what he did.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go, set. 19 Lions.
Here's the 2nd and 7. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's able to find Melton. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Miami, they earn one final victory and finish the regular season at 13-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, the loss means they'll finish at 11-6 overall. And it's going to be wait-and-see time as they figure out their status for the upcoming playoffs.